This tutorial will demonstrate how to create a report. We'll need to give the report a title. We'll create a database query in order to retrieve data from the database, and we'll set up some parameters so it knows which data to retrieve. And we can also set up some charts to be displayed in the report as well. The purpose of this one will be to report data that was logged from the water tower. It'll show the temperature, the flow, and the time at which each record was logged. We can also display it on a line chart. Let's create a report. First we'll go to Report Configuration, and we'll click New. Let's give the report the name Tower Water Report. And let's display the data that's been logged from the cell-based page, and we want to do that between two different times, so we're going to add two parameters. We'll say start date, and we'll make it date type, end date. And just because I call it a date doesn't mean it can't be a specific time. Now let's add a section. This section will be a SQL query that pulls data from the database, right? And we'll make it a traditional grid-based display. Now we'll check, make sure we have the right database settings. That's the connection we want. And let's use the query builder to build our query. Pick the table as tower data. Now, ID isn't necessarily important to display, so we just want the date timestamp and the flow and the temperature. And we'll add in our two parameters. So we want the time to be either greater than or equal to the start date. And we want it to be less than the end date. And we'll sort it by the date. And then we can save it. Now let's say we also want to add a chart to it. We'll go back in. Make sure our section 1 is selected. Go to charting. Let's do a line chart. We want the bottom row, the range, to be the time. And we'll add two series. One for the temp. And we'll make sure the data comes from our temp field. And we'll give the line a color red. And then float. Let's make it blue. And save it. And save the entire configuration.